I made a video about how I'm using the Vision Pro for work and productivity, but now I want to talk about the entertainment side of it. After all, that's kind of the main pitch of this device. This video is sponsored by Narwal and the Frio X Ultra. Watching movies on the Vision Pro is absolutely wild. Now, I want to preface this by saying I hate 3D movies. I'm a film school dropout. I believe video should be 24 frames per second and flat. But this has kind of made me a believer. Now, a quick side note before we get too far into this video. The screen recording utility for Vision Pro doesn't allow you to watch a video and do screen recording at the same time. It's a copyright thing, whatever. So you may see B-roll like this where it's just a black screen. Just kind of bear with me. I can't capture movies and television shows while doing screen recordings. Now I was absolutely blown away watching 3D movies on Vision Pro. Now 3D movies have never been anything I've actively sought out. They're just not my cup of tea. I just prefer 2D movies. I was absolutely blown away watching 3D movies on the Vision Pro. I watched Avatar: Way of the Water, The Marvels, and the end fight scene to Godzilla vs. King Kong, which is, I love that movie so much, like, great movie. Now, I don't think I'll ever actively search out 3D movies. Like, I don't think I'll ever sit down outside of my testing time and be like, oh, I really want to watch a 3D movie. But when that option becomes available, like in the TV app, I think I'll kind of pick it because it is a very different experience. And having good hardware for movies that are three-dimensional is really interesting. Now, this isn't just for watching 3D content. You can watch regular 2D content as well, and it works great. I've been watching the new season of Halo and The Bad Batch on here, along with a couple of episodes of Master of Air. I am a little bit behind. I haven't got caught up yet. But all of that stuff looks amazing on this. It just looks like you have a massive TV screen or you're sitting in a theater and, you get this beautiful view. Environments play a huge role when playing videos. Yeah, you can just spin the digital crown and it'll auto dim when video starts playing and you can move it around and you can have your other apps open and stuff like that. But if you want like a true theater mode, go through the TV app and when you start playing content that you bought from Apple or that's in the channel stuff or Apple TV Plus content, you're gonna see this environment icon. When you select that, it'll give you a couple options to, put your environment at night mode or day mode, or even switch to a built-in theater. It's going to take that window and it's going to position it perfectly in front of you and it's going to make it massive. It looks great. There is kind of a bonus environment in the TV app that isn't in the normal environments area, and it is this theater mode. What's cool about the theater option is you can change where you're virtually sitting. So this will adjust you to be either up high in a balcony, down low, be in the front row, wherever you want to virtually be placed in a theater. Now, Disney Plus is the gold standard for entertainment environments. They did an amazing job. There's a Disney Theater, Avengers Tower, the Scare Floor, and of course my personal favorite, Tatooine. Now, the issue with these though is they're limited to the Disney Plus app, meaning you can't open other apps while you're in these environments. So if I'm sitting in Tatooine, I can't open Obsidian and start writing. It throws you out of it. It also means you can't watch other video as well. You can only watch video that's in the Disney Plus app. I personally would love it if there was a system in place so that these apps could donate those environments to Vision OS and you could work on Tatooine in Obsidian or MindNode or Freeform or whatever. Or kick back at Avengers Tower and play some games, something like that. It would be really cool. Now, I'm not sure in particular if Disney would like to do this. I can pretty much guarantee Disney's lawyers wouldn't like to do that. But as a user of Vision Pro, that is definitely something I want. But just at the end of the day, watching movies or TV shows, no matter what app or environments or any of that stuff you're using, it's amazing. It's like you're sitting in your own private theater, whether you're using an outdoor environment, one of the Disney Plus ones, or just the generic theater one. It's really cool. There are some notable absences when it comes to streaming apps. The biggest is obviously Netflix. I actually canceled my Netflix subscription a while ago because I got tired of starting Netflix shows and them not being in the TV app, the continuing option to continue from the TV app. So I would forget about them and I would forget about Netflix, and months would go by and I wouldn't remember about them. I just found it incredibly frustrating. Plus, they kept raising their prices. So the fact that they're not there while continuing raising their prices and not supporting core features on a platform, I'm over it. The other notable one is Hulu. Now, this one I can kind of forgive because Hulu is actually being rolled into the Disney Plus app. It's just taking some time, so I can kind of see why the engineers wouldn't want to take resources and throw it to that, especially if they're just going to shut down Hulu as like its own separate entity. But that being said, Hulu is one of my most used streaming services, so it is a bummer that it's not there. Now, whenever I'm watching movies or a TV show, I always have AirPods Pro in. I got the new USB-C version because they have a low latency connection with Vision Pro. Even though the AirPod Pro 2s are technically labeled the same thing, they're AirPod Pro 2s or AirPods Pro 2, that never made sense to me. The Lightning and USB-C ones are different in one instance in the fact that the USB-C ones have a low latency connection. No idea why it's different, but it's noted on Apple's website. Now, whenever I'm watching content, I always have noise canceling on. This blocks out the, world around you. I have environments on. It just makes sense. It's really nice. Doing this kind of transports you out of your world and puts you into a theater. And with AirPods Pro, you do get Dolby Atmos sound with these. It's not true Atmos because you don't have a bajillion speakers surrounded you, but it's using delay and all of that stuff to, simulate that Atmos quality, and it sounds really good. A little tip for you, if you're using the digital crown to change the audio, so you start spinning the digital crown, if you just look at the audio option, it'll automatically switch for you. You don't have to spin it with your fingers, then pinch to select audio and then spin it again. You can just look at it and it'll change the option to volume. The big major issue with Vision Pro as kind of like a entertainment TV theater replacement is it's designed for just one person. So the other night my girlfriend was over and we were watching Dune in preparation for the new movie. Very excited for Dune Part 2. I would have loved to have watched Dune on Vision Pro. Absolutely 100%. But this is just for me. Only I could have watched it. And the whole point was we were going to watch it together. So that's kind of the big major issue is this isn't going to replace my TV anytime soon. And besides the point, like I have a nice TV, I have a nice setup out there, but yeah, this can't replace my TV right now. This video is sponsored by Narwal and the Frio X Ultra. The Frio X Ultra is a robot vacuum and mop. This is an all-in-one package that provides excellent cleaning. The Frio X Ultra has a certified zero tangling brush, so hair never gets caught in it. It even has an industry-leading 8200 Pascal of suction, so it can ensure a spotless floor after vacuuming. Then there's the mop side of the robot. With AI Dirt Sense, the mop will detect the dirt and keep cleaning until the floor is thoroughly clean. It does a great job at detecting carpets, so it's not mopping the wrong area. I hate cleaning floors. I hate vacuuming and I hate mopping. When I moved into this place, the floors were pretty clean, but this robot got it even cleaner. In fact, my girlfriend commented she's never seen the floors of my condo this clean, and I'm a neat freak. Like, I don't let things get dirty. I had a couple of stains on the floor, and the mop part got the stains completely out. One thing that really impressed me was how quiet the robot was overall. I've had other robot vacuum cleaners in the past, and I never wanted to run them when I was home because they were just so loud. They were obnoxiously loud, like get through noise canceling on headphones loud. But this one I have scheduled to run when I'm home, and it doesn't bother me at all. The Frio X Ultra has an all-in-one base station. This is used for filling up fresh, clean water, emptying the dirty water, and cleaning the mop functionality of the robot so it's not dragging dirt all over the house. There's even an app you can pair with the robot. This allows you to map out your house, designate type of flooring in a room, and set a cleaning schedule and type. One of my favorite features is the fact that it supports Alexa and Siri. This means I can build shortcuts and home automations to run the robot when I want. Personally, I'm really impressed with the Narwal Frio X Ultra. Like I said, I've been using it and it did a great job at cleaning my floors, and that's a task I hate doing. I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can go check it out. My thanks to Narwal for sponsoring this video. Now, on the lighter side of things, for watching YouTube and stuff like that, unfortunately, there is no native YouTube app, which I find to be a bummer because I prefer the native YouTube experience for lots of different reasons. But there is an app called Juno out there. It's made by the same developer that made Apollo for a while, RIP to a real one. It's great. It works fantastic. You can watch your videos, you can stream it. It has great options in there. Great until the native YouTube app shows up. Now, if my girlfriend's over, or if I go to her place or whatever, and she's doing her thing and she has what I like to call her trashy TV shows on, I will absolutely throw on Vision Pro, environment to 100%, AirPods in, and just block all of that out. I've actually been using Vision Pro on the couch quite a bit, and it works out really well. Now, it's easy to sit down and just use the hand gestures, but if you need to start typing a lot, or if you're going to be using it for, I don't know, more than 20, 30 minutes, something like that, you're probably going to want a keyboard and trackpad. I bring my Magic keyboard and trackpad out into the living room with me quite a bit. Now, I talked about these in my Vision Pro productivity video, but what I didn't mention is what bridges them together. This right here is the 12 South Magic Bridge. This is just a plastic holder for a Magic keyboard and Magic trackpad. Note, it is the newer versions of the Magic keyboard and Magic trackpad, not the older ones. And what this does is it just allows you to put the keyboard and trackpad together, and it gives it a hard surface. So if I'm working out in the living room, I can just put it on my lap, I can type away, still use the trackpad. It works great. This way, if I'm working or just kind of goofing off and I'm out in the living room sitting on the couch, I can still have the keyboard, still have the trackpad, and I'm not having to do the pinch type thing or air type thing. Another accessory I have been using is the Belkin battery holder. Belkin sent me this to review. I actually wasn't planning on buying one of these because I kind of looked at it and saw it as the cell phone holder belt clamp, and I was like, I'll just put the battery pack in my back pocket. And then I forgot about the battery pack and I sat on it. Didn't break anything. It just was it was just kind of like a shock thing. So ever since the battery holder showed up, I've actually been using this. There's this whole Chewbacca bandolier system that you can wear with it. But really, there's a built-in clip. I just clip it right to my pocket in the front and it works great. I believe the charging port is supposed to go up this way, or at least the cable is supposed to go up this way. So that way the cable's going straight up to the headset. But I actually put it so that the cable is facing down. I found that I like this a little bit better. I'm using Vision Pro mostly sitting down. I found just having the charging port on the bottom is really nice. I could just run down my leg or sit on the table or whatever. And that way it's not getting wrapped around anything. I have put chargers everywhere in my house. I have multiple chargers in the different areas that I work at in my office, charger on my bedside table, under my couch, put chargers everywhere just due to the battery life of this thing. Now, one tip I saw on Reddit, if you're using the dual loop band like me, there's a little kind of loop on the back band part. Run the battery cable through that. And so what this will do is instead of the battery kind of running down your ear right here, it'll actually kind of help guide it to the back of your head, and then you can run it behind your shoulders and stuff like that. I mean, it's not the end of the world if it's running down the side of your head, but it bugs me a little bit. I'd rather have it running down my back. Spatial gaming is something we all figured is going to be huge in Vision Pro. I mean, that's what this thing is targeted at. It's spatial computer. So having objects and things like that in the world that you can interact with game-wise would be really cool. After all, you have 4K OLED 100 Hz displays right in front of your eyes. Plus really good hand and eye tracking. I will fully admit, gaming has not been my priority with Vision Pro. I know that's something a lot of people have talked about, but I'm the productivity guy, I'm the apps guy, I'm the automations guy. I love playing video games, but usually video games are a way for me to decompress from work, and yeah, so I haven't been playing a ton of games, but there are a couple of ones that in my testing have really jumped out at me that have been a ton of fun. The first is Synth Rider. This is kind of like Beat Saber, but with your fist. It's a lot of fun. It's a workout. It's very exhausting, and I was sweating after I, did it a couple of times. The other game is Super Fruit Ninja. It's just the classic iPhone game, but built for spatial computing now, spatial gaming, whatever you want to call it. You can slice up all the fruit, you can karate chop. Totally fun. It's a lot of fun. The thing that's really cool about spatial Vision OS games is that they aren't limited to a box. It's just like VR games. You know, VR games aren't limited to a box, but with spatial games, they can blend with your environment. They can work with your tables and stuff like that. And you can interact with different objects and stuff like that. And I'm just really excited to kind of see what developers do with this. I think it can unlock a new level of creativity, especially for those developers that are very Apple focused, that make games for the iPhone and iPad, that haven't done stuff for like VR platforms. The other thing that's important to remember is Vision Pro runs iPad apps, which also includes iPad games. And some of my all-time favorite games are actually available on the iPad and now Vision Pro, like Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. If you're a Star Wars fan and have never played Knights of the Old Republic, you're missing out. Go play those 2 games. They're amazing. And Divinity Original Sin 2. That's another really big RPG game. I've played it on my Xbox in the past. It's really fun. I think I might play it on Vision OS. I might just give it a try. None of these are a good reason to go out and buy Vision Pro, but if you already have the hardware, check them out. What I found to be really interesting is that none of the AAA games Apple has really been like touting that's like, hey, they're coming to the Apple platforms and stuff like that, are here on Vision Pro. Stuff like Resident Evil and Death Stranding, they are not on Vision Pro. Maybe they might show up, but those are available on the iPhone and the iPad. So really, they could have just enabled the iPad version, and you could have had a 2D window and played Death Stranding right there on Vision OS. Now with Vision Pro, you can pair an Xbox or PlayStation or any of the made-for-iPhone controllers. I started playing the game the other night called Dead Cells. Now, this is a roguelike game. It's been incredibly popular on consoles and PC and stuff like that. It's really fun. It's one of those games where you just die over and over again, and like you have to learn from your mistakes, and like you kind of progress a little bit. It's very interesting. It's a part of Apple Arcade, so I got it for free with that subscription. And I honestly didn't really think I would like it, but it's been a ton of fun to play, and it's been a great experience to try it out on Vision OS. By no means is this a graphics intensive game. Like, this is not pushing the graphics of the M2 chip or any of that stuff. But my point is there are fun native Vision OS games. Now, one thing I want to see come natively to Vision Pro is game streaming. My hope is game streaming services like Xbox Cloud Gaming and GeForce Now will put out native apps for Vision Pro. There is recently some App Store rule changes that allow these apps to come to the App Store in a pure native fashion. You don't have to go through the web. I'm not a huge fan of remote play, and by remote play, what I mean by that is streaming from your console. So like my Xbox is in my living room. I could technically stream from my Xbox, but I have always found the quality of that to be incredibly poor. Half the time it doesn't work outside of my house, and plus you're still streaming. I'd rather stream from a data center that has wild internet speeds than my home internet. Which is still good. I still get gigabit down, but it's Comcast, so I get basically nothing up. So what I've been doing now is using the web app version of Xbox Cloud Gaming. Now, Safari doesn't allow you to save progressive web apps. This is the thing you need for Xbox Cloud Gaming and GeForce Now in order to work on something like an iPhone or an iPad. You can't do that from Safari and Vision Pro. So a developer made an app for that. Nexus acts as kind of a wrapper for Xbox Cloud Gaming or GeForce Now and a few other services. It basically puts that PWA right in that browser. So I've been playing my Xbox games on Vision Pro the past few days. Now, is the quality amazing? No. Does it work? Absolutely. Personally, given the choice, all things being equal, would I use Vision Pro and sit down and play an Xbox game that way, or would I sit down at my TV and use the actual hardware? I will always sit down at my TV and use the actual hardware if all things are being equal and I have access to everything. But that being said, you don't always have access to everything. Say my girlfriend's watching something on TV, I could use my Vision Pro and play a game that way. Or if I'm not home, I could play a game that way as well. If I'm at her house or traveling or whatever, I could still play a game. Now, the quality isn't amazing on the Xbox Cloud Gaming. In fact, I've heard and read that the GeForce Now quality in streaming is much better. But I'm already paying for the Xbox version. It has all of my saves and all of my games. And that being said, it's not something I'm going to do a ton, so I'm not sure it's something I want to start investing a bunch of money in. What'll probably happen is if I keep playing games on Vision Pro, I'll probably sign up for like GeForce Now for a month, try it out, see if it really is that much better, and then go from there. Now, my pal John Voorhees over on the Mac Stories website, he put together the definitive guide for gaming on Vision Pro. I've went into a little bit of detail, but he goes into all of the detail in this article. Like, covers some stuff that uses some wild hardware to get. It's interesting. So I'm going to put a link to that in the description below. If you aren't satisfied with my options, go check that out. Maybe just go check that out anyways, because he does a great job. Personally, I really hope game streaming gets better over time. I really love the idea of this. I love the idea of not having to use extra hardware, especially when I'm outside of the house. Now, I'll always go for native hardware that has like local GPUs and all that stuff that I can just use right here because that's just gonna be a much better quality. Well, at least for now. Who knows what the future holds. I do love the idea of just being able to grab a controller and go and just start playing right on Vision Pro. I don't have to worry about, oh, is my Xbox, powered on properly, or is my NAT type open, all that stuff. So that's it. That's how I've been using Vision Pro as an entertainment device. If you have Vision Pro, how have you been entertaining yourself with it? And if you don't, what are you curious about with Vision Pro? Let me know in the comments below. My thanks to Narwal for sponsoring this video. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day.